to move Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the playoffs for Season 2 of the Overwatch University League for the EU region. Once again, I'm joined by Energy__Being, and my name, once again, is Daniel Dutch Sandal. How are you doing today, Energy?
It's pretty good. We are going into the playoffs, which is something that we didn't get to do the first season of this tournament, but should be pretty exciting for this time. We do have two interesting games coming up for you guys today, so I hope you guys enjoy what is to come.
And of course, this is the end of Season 2 now. We've had some fantastic moments all the way through this season, and there's going to be even more fantastic moments coming up during Season 3 as well. If you guys out there are interested in learning more about us, or how you can get involved for Season 3, then follow the link to the Discord in the channel's description below and get yourself signed up, because there is no better time to join, and there is no better time to get started. This entire league just hosts for every sort of person who's looking to get involved with esports as well. Energy and myself have got into esports and into casting in general through this league, and we owe this league a hell of a lot for getting that. A lot of the players who are here today, they've also started off much lower than they were beforehand, and now they've managed to improve themselves as players, teams, and members of the esports community. So make sure to follow that link to the Discord in the channel's description. You can also follow us here on Twitch or on Twitter at OW University, so you guys out there can get updated when future streams are going live, so you can support these players and support everybody here at the OW University. But of course, we are going into playoffs. As said, match 1 is going to be a hybrid map. We're either going to be seeing Eichenwald or Hollywood. Match 2 is King of the Hill, Nepal or Oasis. And match 3, because we've only got a best of 3 coming up for game 1, is going to be a payload map. So Dorado or Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yep, should be a nice time. I am interested to see which map that they pick for the first map. Definitely comes down to what their preferences are and how they want to attack this. Either way though, it should be nice, should be a good time.
It does look like we are going to be getting Hollywood first, both teams. Of course, the highest seeded team gets the choice of attack or defense, and they also get the choice of which map they're going to be going to. That is then switched over during Game 2 as well. So, coming into this with the highest seed is going to be Pat, who are going to be choosing Hollywood. Looks like Yodalf, the team captain of Diverse Origin, has chosen to defend this map first. So we're going to have to see what these guys are looking to do on that defense. Of course, we've seen some very interesting defenses and attacks coming out from Hollywood.
Definitely. There are a lot of interesting things that you can do. One infamous example is the Torbjorn Symmetra defense, which first aired on Hollywood as a map. So, could be that we see something like that, could be we see some other sorts of interesting defense to hold that first point, but it should be, fairly entertaining to see what they do coming into this, how they defend this point, though they are at a bit of a disadvantage because Pat is a higher team division-wise, and they play together well. I've been against them before on my own team in the first season, and they are fairly organized, and they do know what they are doing.
You did, however, say to these guys a little bit earlier that your team was not quite as coordinated as it possibly could have been, so of course you've just gone back to being a caster. Of course, if you can't do your teach Energy.
Yeah, I definitely am a caster in this tournament, first and foremost. I used to be a player in it, but didn't work out so well, and I am going to just continue on in this capacity and maybe coaching in the future, and that's about it.
Well, of course, I've just given the boys a little bit of an inclination to start the game off. Of course, we are going over to Hollywood. We're going to see that Hollywood sign. We're going to see the I'm Rich car in the background, and we are going to see the opening to the playoffs here. And of course, it's going to be a fantastic start to this. Once again, Diverse Origin are going to be starting this game out on the defense, so we're going to have to see what they start to lock in here. It does look like we do have the Torbjorn hover already, so we could actually be seeing a start off of that Torbjorn Symmetra. Kind of hoping we do get to see it, even though not the most exciting of things to cast. but we'll be seeing that very shortly. Of course, looking over of the team of Pat, they're starting to lock in their own picks as well. Not sure which of those ones are going to be sticking in there, but we'll be seeing very shortly, as we do still have 50 seconds for Diverse Origin to prepare their defenses.
I mean, as much as, like you said earlier, as much as the Torbjorn, Orisa, like, defense isn't something that maybe is interesting to cast, it is an extremely interesting, like, it is a very interesting strategy in this game. I think it works out fairly well if the two people work together, if you can get that level 2 turret and the, like, bunker for it going. It will be able to charge some ult pretty fast in the beginning if they can keep this up, and if the enemy team doesn't immediately dive that turret.
Taking a look at the team that Pat is putting forward for us as well, we do have Casebrot. He is going to be sticking himself onto that Genji alongside Rolling Julie's Tracer, so there is definitely components of dive coming in here, which is something that we do see Torbjorn start to struggle against. Of course, that turret is being set up in the cheeky spot where he's just going to get himself some extra ult charge at the very beginning of this, but already going to be collapsed upon, taken down very easily by that Lucio, and the push already starting to come through, not opting to hold at the choke point. Winston diving in, no full follow coming in just yet, but that's the Genji starting to come through. Sombra on that Diva, going to be taking down the healers already. Casebrot making very short work of the entirety of Torbjorn, and the rest of the team just piling on to this point. Yodalf is not going to stay alive for very long as Rolling Julie kicks out the rest of that fight, and it looks like a very clean take for Pat.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, and they are working against the enemy team very well. They know what they're doing, and they know how to collapse on the enemy team properly. There is a reason that they are in a higher division. They have better teamwork, and it seems like better gameplay going into this.
Definitely the case. Already the dive still going forward here. That's going to be Hasty Bibu. Oh my goodness, what a difficult name to start this one off with. But we do have the car in motion, going forward, payload in motion, with the Lucio on the top of it. Casebrot is going to be using his ultimate, already slicing, already dicing, getting 2 kills, Rolling Julie, getting the third there as well. Casebrot with a third and a fourth. What a huge set of plays coming out of that Genji as he already takes down the Diva mech as well. Kopfen taking out Diva. Florida finale there, and Pat making such short work of Diverse Origin, who just cannot get themselves together against this overwhelming offense.
I mean, every single time that they come into these battles, they know what they're doing, they're fighting against the enemy team well, they're making sure that the enemy team, even if they're stuck... Oh! It's beautiful, if only I got it on camera.
Well, what can you do about that? Of course, we do try and keep the sweeps up top as well as a little bit of the first person as well. But you're also doing colour at the same time as doing the camera, so you've got a lot on your mind here, man.
And Winston going ape, moving in with that angry monkey.
There's just nothing that Diverse Origin can do. The payload just hasn't been stopped for the entirety of this push as Rolling Julie and Casebrot taking down so many of the members of Diverse Origin. We are missing so much action because it's coming so thick and so fast. Even if Yodalf does get a bit of a teabagging coming down from bad Pat right there. We are seeing a lot of BM come through, but well deserved at the second with this steamroll.
Rolling Julie and Casebrot are doing such an incredible job at moving forward with these diving DPS heroes, getting in the back with that Tracer and with that Genji just wreaking havoc on the enemy team.
Yodalf did switch out onto that Winston as well, but already taken out of the fight as nobody else was able to follow up on him, and it doesn't look like that Diva mech is going to be doing too much there. Sombra and Chiraplet, Diva versus Diva, Diva on Diva action, that's what we do like to see, but the rest is coming through as Casebrot, who still hasn't died for the entirety of this game, going to be taken down MNSE, he gets that blade out once again, zoning everyone off. Sombra with the ultimate takes down Yodalf, but Macromane is there, he's going to be using that res for 2, trying to keep the contest going here. This will be the final point where Diverse Origin are able to mount the defense and stop the rest of Pat just taking this without any real contest. K-Subrot's not contested in the backside, but that's MNSI taken out of the sky as soon as he starts using that rocket barrage. Yodalf taken out of the fight once again. Chiraplet still contesting that point, but Sombra's going to be the one to take him down. Macramain getting onto the point now, and this is just him standing there, rolling Julie, using another pulse bomb to get another kill, and it looks like that is going to be the end of that game as Pat roll it through with 3 minutes 55 seconds to spare.
I'm honestly extremely, like, the one thing that I noticed that it's really weird to me is Macramain just getting to the payload and standing still. There was a few moments during the game when I was looking and he was just not moving at all. I don't know what that is, but it's interesting. They went through really fast. The enemy team barely had any opportunity to stall them. It took them until the last point to get that stall in that they needed to get some of that time, but nearly 4 minutes going into a second round, even if they do get it to the back end, is going to be extremely hard to fight against.
And already we're seeing Pat start locking in their defensive picks now. Sombra moving over onto that Sombra. I'm not sure if Neville Noob will be sticking onto that Hanzo, but alongside the Torbjorn Symmetra, going to be trying to get a very long hold down onto Diverse Origin. We're going to have to see what they do kick in here. But how can Diverse Origin really come back from such a huge disadvantage?
Diverse Origin just needs to jump in there and get as many early picks as they can in the fight before Pat really gets their defense going. If, like, they can get a kill off on, like, Neville Noob and Sombra, then they'd probably be able to take the fight, or at least have a chance in the fight, I believe.
This is definitely an interesting composition coming in from Pat, who have actually stuck on all of those picks. So, Neville Noob will be playing the Hanzo. We've got Sombra playing Sombra and being sort of a 0.5 of the healer alongside K-Subrot on that Ana this time round. Only tank here will be rolling Julie on the good old Orisa pick, which we're starting to see more and more of now.
Yeah, Orisa's coming into the meta a bit more as a defensive character, but you don't often see them, like, going in on attack. It's more about setting up those bunkers and, like, keeping her team defended as opposed to attacking a point.
And to begin this fight off, we do have Macramain being microwaved out of the fight, as Hasabubu also going to be taking out Leonders on the backside with his turret. Turret will be taken down by Yodalf, however, but the rest of Diverse Origin haven't managed to get out of the initial part near spawn. They can't even get inside. Always somebody being taken down before they're even getting through this choke point here. MNSE not getting any picks down with this Pharah either. Very good pick to start coming in alongside, or what they're playing into at least.
Yes, it's definitely a good pick for what they're playing into, but they are playing into a team who is working out a bit better than them as a group, so it will be hard to do some work even with that, I think.
The pharmacy will be in play here, however, so that's obviously a very strong combination. Not strong enough as K-Subrot on the Ana will be taking the Pharah out. Already starting this disadvantage off. Leondar slept in the backline here, and Yodalf going to be the first one taken out, as that's going to be Leondar's next out. Carpfen 17 doing a lot of work on this Symmetra just to make sure that nobody can really get in. That's the free K for him there. 3 frags on the board, very easy to start this off.
And the Symmetra does have her ult, so she's going to put something up for her team. It is a teleporter, so they will be able to get back to the point very fast in the event that any of them does die.
Of course, that is going to be what we're going to need to see Diverse Origin take out of this fight, because obviously we've seen so many occasions where that teleporter is so huge in these fights. Yodalf is going to be jumping into the backline here, but Sombra and Carpfen doing so much work once again. There's the EMP coming into the fight. The Slicker's Pie going to be contested on the backside of this. Nano Boost does come in, as that's going to be a very big Orisa, putting damage across all of the members and allowing Carpfen to get himself another 3 frags to finish off this fight and cement yet another successful defense.
They have a minute and a half left, and I'm fairly certain at this point that they can hold this first point if nothing does change on Team Diverse Origin.
Yodalf diving into this, but no team there to back him up just yet. Chiraplet does find himself around about the same spot, but there's no real damage coming through. This is a very weird composition going into the fight. Diverse Origin do get the initial pick here, though, as Yodalf takes Sombra out of the fight almost immediately. Dragonblade does come down, Leon does, finishes off. Oh my goodness, that's gonna look like much more kills than it actually was, but Emanesi getting the pick down onto the tank here. Looks like Diverse Origin finally putting up that fight and finally going to start taking this point. 47 seconds left. Slicker Spy will be staying on there. But TP, the rest of the members are coming back and they are cementing the defense yet again. Carp then taking 2 members out of the fight, and Diverse Origin so close yet so far.
They nearly took out that teleporter too. It was on its last 25 HP before the Genji was knocked off of it. It was so close to being a full team wipe there.
Close, yet not close enough. The contest still coming through. Yodalf will be taken out of the fight almost immediately. Slicker's Pie, the only member to trade any kills back. But Carp, Fen, Sombra, Neville, Noob, all chipping in with frags of their own. And this is Diverse Origin getting wiped across the board. Overtime will be forced. We are not seeing anything else come through here. Chiraplet going to be taken out of that mech and taken out of the fight once again. Overtime depleted. Macrame not able to get onto the point, and that is first round going over to Pat with a 3-0.
Yeah, that was impressive. Like, as one person said in the chat on the left-hand side, they won with the Rage Quit comp, which is definitely not something you expect for this game. So that went very well for them.
There is love the name of that, the Rage Quit composition. Yes. And this man who's on the screen at the second, Kasabrot, just want to highlight him. He didn't even die during that first round. Fantastic positioning, exciting plays all across the board. Is this Seagull reincarnate as he gets the 3K and the 4K, chipping in with so many frags, and a very worthy play of the match there.
He definitely did an extremely good job. He has, for the first round, a 22 kill streak, getting the card for that in this game.
Huge work done by him, and honestly set to being the MVP from me at least here. 8 minutes 20 was the full match time. We did not see Pat getting contested at all there, as we're going to be going over onto our next map now. What can we be seeing coming out on King of the Hill from Diverse Origin to really turn the tables here?
Diverse Origin has to play a bit more together as a team. I would like to see them attack as one and go in together, which is not something that we've been seeing too much so far. We've had Yodalf going in first generally with the Winston, and instead of his team diving in and initiating with him, we see them trailing behind him, kind of walking in slow, going into the point, trying to protect themselves more, or make sure that they have a nice entry. But by the time that they get to the point, Yodalf is nearly dead, and it kind of just falls apart after that, because when your main tank goes down, you stop having that, protected space that you need. And Kesabrot really put down the pressure on them on the attack for Pat. He made sure that 1 or 2 people was dead at all times, in conjunction with Rolling Julie on that tracer. Kesabrot, I think, is my MVP for the attack, and obviously it's got to go to Carpfin 17 for the defense with that Symmetra getting as many kills as she did.
Definitely the case, and you just caught me off guard a little bit there. I had a bit of Iron Brew in there. I'm not Scottish, guys, but Iron Brew is absolutely fantastic. Now, we do have a quick pause here at the second, so there's going to be a slight delay to you guys in chat. Yodalf, the captain of Diverse Origin, is going to be bringing in a sub for the next game. We don't currently know which map is going to be played yet, but we can still confirm that it will be a King of the Hill map. It does look like I actually know who's going to be playing next. I think we'll be having Misk coming in for the next game, but we're going to have to see who's actually going to be there. Of course, I have to wait for these guys to see that fully. Yep, Macromane will be swapped out of this game. It did look like he was having a few issues during game 1, so he's going to be swapped out here for Misk, the Spanish sensation himself, coming in for Diverse Origin, and also a fantastic player as well. We got to see him play a good bit of Genji quite recently.
He's a good player, and also he is Diverse Origin's graphics guy. He definitely does some very good art for these teams and for their logos and things like that. But hey, we will see. Is this enough to change the current position of this, or will Pat take it 2-0 in the next match? King of the Hill, and I kind of have my bet on them at this point, honestly.
It does definitely look like it after such a steamroll coming out from them on Hollywood. But of course, we are going over to King of the Hill next, and I can't emphasize that enough. Of course, we do get to see, but when we're going into a different style of game or a different game mode, things can change up so drastically. And I believe that Diverse Origin also are very used to playing on King of the Hill maps. I'm not fully sure on Pat's preference here, so it looks like we're still waiting on Diverse Origin to pick that map currently.
Alright. But yeah, going into the next one, we'll see who is able to take it to, I believe the next one is the finals for this.
It is indeed, and the finals for today is going to be Kairos Gaming versus Whatever Bro. And two teams that we have got to see before, Division 2 and Division 3, will be playing finals today, and it's going to be such a hype matchup. We're going to be going to the best of 5 format for that as well, so we're going to have even more Overwatch action. At least we'll definitely get the game free for that fixture as well.
Alright, but yes, just kind of quiet going into the next one, because I'm not sure what to say, because we do not have a map picked yet or anything like that. But yeah, should be fun. This is great to see, like, an end of the season kind of matchups like this. The playoffs, I think, was a good idea this time. The first season, it felt kind of weird, you know, going into the end, and once your division's done, you're done, and you just have to wait until the next season. So I think this is a good thing for the community as a whole. What I really want to see going in the next season, though, is I want to see the winners of Div 1 in NA go against the winners of Div 1 in EU and see who is at the top for the full thing.
I would love to see even All-Stars, EU All-Stars versus NA All-Stars. That's what I've been wanting for this entire season. Now, Pimp, if you are watching, if any of the admins are watching, make it happen. It's going to be fantastic. Watching. I mean, technically, us here, we are technically a multinational. You see, Energy is NA,
I am American.
Even though you've been sort of enhanced by EU.
In all ways, but actually playing the game, I am NA. In actually playing the game, I am EU.
Well, we'll hope so. So, you see, if it does happen, us here over at the EU Casting Couch will be more than happy to actually run those games for you and maybe put a little bit of flame down onto NA.
Yeah.
But Energy, you are going to have to be, you know, representing your NA brethren.
I don't want to, though. I don't want to represent.
Now,
as much as I am American, I am definitely more of a fan of the EU and Asia ways of actually playing video games. So,
of course, before we flame UNA guys a little bit too hard, if there are
no
any
offense
representation
intended
coming out here in the chat, we are sorry and thank you for joining us today. I'm not even sure what time it is over there, but you guys are the real MVPs if you're watching.
It's 10 a.m. at the latest it could potentially be in NA right now. It could be 7 a.m. if you are on the if you are on the West Coast. So if you are actually there, good for you. Also, I really wish I was in Nepal right now. Look at all that snow. It's so hot here.
We definitely have got a little bit sidetracked. Of course, we are going over to Nepal for game 2 of this. If we do see Pat take the victory here, they will be taking the entire best of 3 victory, and the high ground start is going to be in action straight away. This is going to be the first kill taken in there for Yodalf, getting that headshot down onto Hasibubu, and the Naval Noob going to get one more traded back. Yodalf doing his very best on that Zenyatta, however. He's going to be going up against Neville Noob, and it looks like already Diverse Origin getting onto this point, trying to get it as much as they can. Of course, if they do get that, they will be in prime position to get this started off. Leon is going to take out Rolling Julie here at the very beginning of this, and it looks like Diverse Origin getting a very good start to this map, something which we maybe didn't expect following their first performance on Hollywood.
Oh, right, but yeah, sorry, I had to change the names of the teams and the scores, because at first, one was on the other side, and then they switched because, of course, they were going to switch. So, sorry for the slight delay in the beginning of this fight, but it's going to be good for the rest of it.
33% on the board already. The contest did start to come down from Pat, but they thought better of that as the rest of Yodalf's boys did start coming back onto them. Eminesi raining down a lot of fire onto Pat here, and they don't really have anyone to fully contest him. Kasabrot did do a fantastic job on the Genji and getting that sorted last time round, but not really working here just yet. Point being contested straight away as the fight starts to begin. Hasibubu does take Yodalf out of the fight straight away as Leon trades one back. Eminesi kills himself somehow, but Rolling Julie is going to be bringing the monkey back into the fight. This will be another sound barrier provided to get extra shields in as well. Chiraplet takes Sombra out of the fight with that self-destruct. This is still a huge contest coming in. 78% on the board, however, for the Diverse boys. There's Kasabrot bringing that blade out once again, trying to do as much work as he did on Hollywood, getting 2 kills at the very beginning of this fight. Yodalf will trade one out, however, still contest coming through. 90% on the board. Chiraplet making this scoreboard go red. Sombra getting a kill of her own as Eminesi takes Cop Ben out of the fight as well. Overtime coming onto the board now, and I'm starting to get a little bit out of breath as this has been going on for such a long period of time now. Overtime still going onto the board. Sombra killing off Eminesi, and that's the retake coming out of Pat. Can they hold it for the entire time is the real question here.
I think they can. I think they're definitely able to. They were just caught off in the beginning of that first fight, and it really was bad for them going back to that. Rolling Julie getting a kill on Leonidas with that Mercy. It's a surprising amount of damage.
And once again, you catch me with some iron brew in my mouth at the beginning of that. I mean, the handover was perfect there, Energy. Just the rest of it, just bad timing.
Yeah.
We need a desk. Someone pay for that.
Somebody pay for a desk and also, like, weekly plane trips so we can just do this.
And our own studio.
Yes.
Misk will be on this Winston here, but he's going to be taken out of the fight very quickly. And it looks like Pat have re-coordinated themselves. MNSE going to be using the rocket barrage, but doesn't get any kills there. Probably not the best of positions for him to be using that.
No, not really.
Of course, random Mexican 33 in the chat, hashtag Zen Carry. Yodalf has been doing a lot of work during this game, and he's trying to lead the rest of the team all the way through this high ground, but there's such a huge defense coming out of Pat here, and that's 2 kills once again for this Genji, who's doing so much work again.
Hello, and he dies. So, we will have a fight coming back to the point with Leonidas getting on it with that Tracer.
He's doing his best to try and contest as much as he can, but this is Sombra taken out at the very beginning of this. Neville Noob will be taking Slicker's Pie out of the fight, teaming up for the special attack now, as that's going to be the big bongo coming down. Yodalf will finish that off, however. Rolling Julie does use the Resurrect to get Neville Noob back into the fight, but it's just the one. It's the tempo. Overtime, 99 to 99, and this is still our first round. EMP is huge there, getting lots of people hacked at the same time. Slicker's Pie having to go out of the fight, reposition himself, but this is two Lucio ultimates at the same time. Misk will finish Hasibubu off here. We've seen both of the shields from both of the Lucios fully out of this now. Misk getting 2 kills. Eminesi finally using that rocket barrage correctly there as Slicker's Pie gonna take out his doppelganger, and that is going to be Diverse Origin getting the first points.
It's a much closer fight than I thought it was gonna be in the end.
Maybe we did kind of count Diverse Origin out of this a little bit too early, but that mid-round switch out that we did get to see with Misk coming in seems to have done wonders for them. They seem like a different team entirely here.
Yeah, they very much seem entirely different than they did before. Just with one switch up, it has gone entirely differently. With Misk on that monkey, he is doing a lot of work.
Of course, this isn't to discredit Macromane in the fight in the previous round, but of course, working with Misk, it seems to be much smoother. The team does seem to be coordinating and gelling a lot better. They're not just staggering in and going for different things. Of course, coordination and composition, something we've spoken about a lot in the past.
Yeah.
Now, of course, already starting this off, kills traded across the board, 1 for 1 already. Misk jumping in, and he is the man of the hour. Neville Noob going to be getting a kill of his own now, and that is going to be a blue scoreboard. Across the board, Casebrot now onside that Tracer, taking Yodalf out of the fight almost immediately as Neville Noob chipping in on his monkey. Pat have woken up, and they are taking this point for themselves. This is Eminesi trying to contest, but that is not going to be a success, as that's Pat taking this point first time round.
And Leonidas getting healed up before he moves back into the point. He's doing a pretty good job this time as the Tracer, moving in, being annoying, knowing what he's doing. But we do have Rolling Julie and Kessebrot on the other team who are doing incredible as DPS and know exactly what is going on with these DPS in this game. Sorry. Using my words over again.
Sticking together is Diverse Origin, who have come together once again. Yodalf is going to take Hasibu for this fight. That's Misk jumping in, trying to find what he can, but the tickle gun not finding too much as he's forced to regroup with the rest of his team. Eminesi taking some air superiority here. That's Misk jumping in once again. Eminesi, Chirruplet, and Misk getting some damage in for themselves. This could be the fight. This could be their fight as well. Slicker's Pie will almost get booped off, but perfect wall riding there, making sure that he is safe, and this is a very, very smooth retake for Diverse Origin, who have woken up themselves.
They know what to do, and I tried so hard not to make an Evanescence reference immediately after that statement. Oh, God.
Of course,
they've woken
Evanescence.
Woken up inside.
Woken up inside.
Yeah.
He can't wake up. But Diverse Origin have saved themselves. They've woken up and they are back into this game. Could this be the reverse sweep? This, if it is, honestly, I might just stop casting because we did not expect this and we counted them out so early. Eminesi still getting a lot of damage down, but Kessebrot and Hasibubu getting kills of themselves. Beautiful boop as that is Yodalf taken off of the side, self-destruct, put up into the air. No kills will be established from that point. However, that will be Slicker's Pie using his sound barrier. Eminesi taken out by Kessebrot as Leonidas is going dangerously low, but he's taken out, and this is once again a blue scoreboard as Pat are not content with being counted out of this fight. They do not want this reverse sweep, and they have retaken that point cleanly.
One thing I absolutely have to mention is when Yodalf was booped off, he did use his Transcendence, thinking that he'd be able to get back on with the increased movement speed, and then he just fell in the hole. He is invincible unless he falls off the environment, which is a sad, sad thing indeed.
Feels bad, man, coming into this. 75% on the board for Pat. We could still see Diverse Origin retake this point with 2 ultimates, but Leonidas and Yodelf and Misk taken out so quickly. This is a huge focus fire coming out from Pat, who pick their targets and eliminate them instantly. 90% to 56 now as Rolling Julie gonna finish off Chiraplet on the backside of this. Slicker's Pie also did get taken out. Cartfully and Sombra on that Diva, taking picks of their own. Misk will jump onto the point, but it's not for anything just yet, as he has nobody to respond to this. We could be going to 1-1 here, as that's overtime once again forced, but this is unfortunately the trickle. We can't expect too much coming out of this, but nobody standing still at the second whilst they're contesting this, which is a little bit of an improvement to last time round. Hasabubu will be putting Chiraplet off that map as Rolling Julie finishes him off, and we're going to see 1-1 here.
Yep.
Still though, very good to see Diverse Origin showing signs of life, showing that they can fight this, and that they're not overly scared of Pat, who are coming into this as the heavy favourites.
Definitely. They are coming back in, and they are working well as a team. You do see a bit better play on Pat than on Diverse Origin. Like, when you look at Kesabrat on the Tracer, even though he has the worse skin than Leonidas, he definitely knows what he's doing. He definitely can outplay Leonidas in a 1-versus-1. You've seen it a few times the last round. You see it in, like, a few of the other characters on each of the teams, but it's definitely coming down a bit closer now than it was before. They know what they're doing on these control point maps.
And Rolling Julie knows what he's doing on that hit scan, already getting the headshot down onto Leonidas, starting this fight off correctly. That's Hasabubu also taking Yodalfa out of the fight as well. Misk forced to jump back as he is dangerously low. Hasabubu on the Lucio, doing so much work here, and it looks like this is once again a blue scoreboard, and once again Pat establishing their dominance. They do not want to be contested, and they are proving that they are the better team here.
Hasabubu definitely doing some crazy work, even killing, Eminesi on that Pharaoh with the Lucio. It's not something you can normally say.
Of course, is this just an SR gap, or is this just a team communication gap coming through? We're definitely seeing the mechanical skill as Rolling Julie finishes off Misk once again. Leonidas trying to chip in with that Tracer getting a kill. Leonidas getting the second down onto Rolling Julie. Neville Noob does get 2 of his own, however, both of which are headshots. Pat keeping this point to themselves once again.
And Eminesi getting a kill, but being immediately shot out of the sky as soon as they use their ult.
Doesn't look like he's really being set up for success with either.
No, he's also using his ult in, like, really bad positions that he's getting killed fairly quickly. Like, he might get a kill or 2 every time he uses it, but usually it's when his team isn't around and when he's going to die very fast.
And unfortunately, every time he's used that, I think we've only seen that ult make a difference once in this entire series, and none of the times which he has used the ultimate has he been set up for success with it, as Misk getting hooked in and taken out of the fight almost immediately there. Traded back onto Neville Noob, however. This is still the fight going as sound barriers are going to be used here. Sombra getting a lovely charge down onto Chiraplet there. Yoda will be using his ultimate. Kesabrat getting 2 with the Riptire. Something we didn't pick on earlier is the fact that he's using that Junkrat. Misk not going to be able to do too much here, as he's got no team to back him up. You can't make space if there's nobody to make space for. Misk will be jumping in with the ultimate, but taken down almost immediately. That's going to be Chiraplet using his self-destruct, but only getting 1 kill. That's going to be another ultimate used by Sombra on that Reinhardt. Gets the Earth Shatter to try and keep people off at this point, but Chiraplet does find himself there. He gets gets on. Overtime being very much depleted. Yodalf not going to make it on there, but Misk will instead, before being instantly taken down. Rolling Julie using that Deadeye to zone off the rest of the fight, and a fantastic 2-1 already. Next point could win this for Pat, who are not only on match point, but they are on series points here.
And then after this, we will be going to the finals of the EUA division, I believe. So, that will be some good fun too, but it really comes down to whether Diverse Origin can pull out as much work as they did on this exact part of the map again. If they can do it, then they can bring it down to one final match point between them and Pat. And I would love to see that kind of thing happen, because I love toss-ups in this game.
Grey Kuma over in chat is saying mostly a communication difference, but of course we are seeing clear gaps inside the mechanical skills of the players, but of course communication at this level is definitely something to bear in mind. Once again, communication winning these games as another blue scoreboard. Rolling Julie, Kesabrot chipping in so much damage, getting 4 kills to start this off, and they are going to instantly start taking this point once it unlocks, that is.
And here it is. They're going to cap the first point. Diverse Origin is going to need to come back at them, do a nice quick dive, and try and take that point. They've switched off the Pharah, which I think is good for them in the long run. Pharah was doing some work, but normally was just getting caught out by herself way too often.
Misk starting that dive off, no real follow coming in as Chiraplet finally starts to get in there with him. Yodalf at the very far back here trying to provide healing for the rest of the team, but Misk will be taken down. Hasibubu getting another kill of his own. He's on that Symmetra pick now as he just scraps out that Diva mech as well. Eminesi and Yodalf chipping in, getting 2 kills of their own, but Hasibubu and Kesabrot doing so much work here as they hold this point. Once again, different explosive champion for Kesabrot this time round, as he's going to be playing on that Pharah, doing so much work at 75% of ult charge already.
And they have 3 DPS right now with Kesabrot, Rolling Julie, and Hasibubu playing that Symmetra. It normally is switched out for healers in a lot of organizations, even though really she's not a healer, she is a DPS. She just has a bit of a different usage than others.
No brain, no aim coming into this, but that's Karpfen going to be using his own aim to get a kill down onto Leonidas to start this off. Rolling Julie gets the headshot down onto Eminesi as Yo does trade one back. Health bars are flashing across the board here as Chiraplet will be taken out of his mech on the backside there. Hasibubu doing so much work before being taken out, but all the time the contest coming in. Diverse Origin do start to get points on the board, but they are getting wiped here. This will be the rest of Pat starting to do work. That will be Leonidas using his ultimate before being taken out by Sombra. Pat re-establishing their own control of this straight away, however, and making sure that Diverse Origin only get 10% on the board there, softening the blow for themselves.
Everybody's coming back from the death now already with that teleporter that they have going.
But get hype, we are on series point here, and this is Pat now taking this to overtime. 99% if Pat get the wipe here, which they have done. Beautiful shots and beautiful kills across the board. This is Pat taking the series victory for themselves.
Yeah, Pat was very good at switching between different team comps as well, and that is one thing that the chat has brought up. So much diversity in their gameplay.
Of course, Diverse not keeping that diversity, which is not really in the name. Yodalf, of course, is somebody we know who's played around with a lot of teams and is doing a fantastic job of making sure that the organization and structure is there for his teams as well. So we can still expect good things coming from any team he's on next season.
Yep, should be able to. But this is Pat 2. Diverse Origin 1.
0.
Or, yeah, 0, sorry.
Bad production coming in, almost as good as ESL.
The blow. No, it's
we do have to say, though, Diverse Origin did start to show signs of life in that second game, but what can they really do, or could they have done to soften the blow on themselves and keep up a better fight?
Honestly, they probably should have just dived together more. They could have also switched off of the Pharah a bit earlier. Like, the Pharah worked for them for a period, but honestly, it just didn't get returns as it kept on going, with the Pharah being caught out in the open, unable to really do anything as she's separated from her team.
Of course, even though, once again, this is mostly a commiserations part of the stream, but Diverse Origin, who didn't manage to get the victory, the signs of life in such a weighted matchup is definitely credit to the structure of a tournament like this, which does encourage players to get better and get better in a competitive environment as a team and as solo players. So definitely showing signs of life, which did contribute to them not, getting completely and utterly stomped there.
Yeah, they definitely worked better as a team when the switch off for Misk happened, so I think that's part of the reason why it changed up, but they definitely played well. They knew to fight for that point, and I think their usefulness on, or not their usefulness, their, like, ability to play on King of the Hill maps really helped them out with just fighting that and making them work a lot better than they normally did on, like, another type of map. The SR difference is a huge thing, but I think it really comes down to communication, being used to these sorts of maps, and who you play against normally.
Definitely the case, and still huge respect to Diverse for facing those odds. Of course, Pat getting the expected result there and taking that series 2-0, which was very much within their favor, but showcasing their ability to play as a team, showcasing the fact that their communications, their mechanical skill as players, all coming through, all coming out trumps in their favor there. They were definitely a wall which Diverse Origin just could not surpass.
Yep. So, going into the next match, I think we are going to take a 5-minute break before it starts up, and then we will be in for the final between, in EUA, I believe, for Kairos Gaming and Deserters, or is it not Deserters now?
No, it's whatever, bro.
Whatever,
you see,
bro,
we're
yeah.
doing really well on this production front today.
So great.
Of course, whilst we are going into our break, make sure to go onto the subreddit at reddit.com/r/Overwatch University, where you can find some fantastic threads about getting better at the game. Of course, this entire tournament is there and is in place to help players in getting better. Make sure you also sign yourselves up on the Discord, as Season 3 will be coming up very soon after a very short off-season. Get yourselves involved. Even if you think you're not good enough, there is definitely a place for you. We have plenty of teams going in. Get yourself in as a substitute if you want to play a little bit more solo, so you can play with teams who are looking for extra players for matches or for scrims. The Overwatch University League does accept any skill level, 1 SR all the way up to 5,000. Don't feel like you're too good or too bad to join. If you do want to carry on though, thank you already for watching the stream so far, but do make sure to stick around, because after our short break we will be coming back for the EU finals for today between Kairos Gaming and Whatever Bro, and we will see you shortly.
Alright, we'll be back in a minute.
And welcome back, guys. Thank you for sticking with us during that short break. But we are back once again, and once again, my name is Daniel Dudge Sandal, and joining me for this wonderful finals today of the Season 2 Overwatch University League Finals. That's the one. I'm starting to mix my words already. We are going to Kairos Gaming versus Whatever Bro. Now this is going to be a very hyped matchup, as we have a Division 2 team going up against Division 3, and we've also switched up the map order ever so slightly, as we'll be going into a hybrid map first, and it should be either Eichenwald or Numbani.
Yeah, it is going to be a very, very interesting thing for this. Like, we need to, see how they play. It is a best of 5, so they are just going in and going to fight against each other. The slugfest probably for 3 to 5 rounds. So this is gonna be great.
Exactly.
Words.
So let's make the most of this one, as we're going to be coming into this. Now, of course, we did get to see a very interesting matchup coming in last time round. Once again, a 1 division difference going in, and there was quite a big fight going on for both sides. So, taking a look at it, at these higher levels of play, what can we expect to see?
I mean, really, it honestly depends on how they're going to play or which map that they're going to choose. They have a choice between Eichenwald and Numbani. I think that any reasonable, sane person will probably choose Numbani out of these two. But it really depends on how they like to play these maps, because it is very different. Like, Eichenwald, if you're good at it and the enemy team is just a random enemy team, they're going to be worst. They're not worse. They're going words today. You guys can all tell I am struggling with words today. They're going to be worse than you. If you can set up a nice defense, and it's great. But I think, yeah, they're going with Numbani. So, honestly, there's a few different ways to attack this point. It depends on whether they use it far or not, but most of the time they're just going to be trying to attack and get that high ground push going so that they can get the attack down onto the point.
Exactly the case, and taking a look at it as well, going into Numbani, the sheer amount of options that both of these teams will have going into it will be absolutely huge. We've seen Numbani, whenever it has been played, just have so many different variations, so many different strategies, and it's always such a hype map to go into, and it's such a shame that more teams don't really incorporate it into their map pools.
Yeah, you don't see it too often. It's one of my favorite maps in the entire game, generally as an attacker. As a defender, I don't like the first point so much, but I love the map and I like seeing people play on it, but it's not one of the more popular ones in this game, honestly. If you're going to go with a hybrid map, people prefer Hollywood, people prefer, Hollywood, just in general. But, yeah, we are going into the game. I'm going to have to change the names in the beginning, but
that's no problem at all. Well, I'll just take it from here. Of course, as mentioned so many times already, Barney, wonderful sunny city to start this off. Taking a look at both of the teams as they're coming into this, we're seeing a few weird locks come in already, and I don't think we're going to be seeing all of these come through, but of course it does look like on the blue side we're already starting to have remnants and parts of the dive composition come through, which is of course the hugest and possibly the most popular composition that we do see coming out of these teams.
Yeah, it's definitely the most popular choice in the meta right now. It's the most powerful thing that you can choose in the pro scene. So a lot of people will end up choosing it, even, if they're not as good with it, because everybody knows that, the pros do this, the pros do that, so they will choose that anyway, even if it might not be the best option for them. It is the meta, and we have tons of meta slaves in Overwatch in general, so.
The meta is there for a reason, Wesley, and we will be slaves to it, and we will obey. That's the main thing, of course, going into this. Now, what do you think about the attack coming in from Whatever Bro here, if they do stick to this, of course?
They're obviously not. They keep on switching around everything. If they stick with what they have now, they're not going to have enough healing to stay alive.
Of course, we are going to get baited no matter what. It seems to happen every single... It's either a Kingster Curse or baiting us. Or of course they're just having fun, in which case we can't really say anything bad about that. So, taking a look at this, we will be... Oh my goodness, the first kill of the finals already coming down as Blood is taken out of the fight almost immediately here. Defense starting this correct and starting this well. Tracer already in the backline, starting to get a lot of that trickle damage already down into the back of people's heads. Sammy will be taking Sly out with some very well placed Helix rockets, however, and this will be the first team fight of the finals coming in now. Winston both jumping into backlines, but that's Deppy's Dave taking Chris for a little bit of a ride as he's forced to get out. Doki Doki will be on that point. Kiam getting the boot 4 down. Deppy Dave getting a kill onto Doki Doki as the Blue Swarm is getting onto the point. The defense is doing its very best here. Naru taking Chris out of the fight, and that will be the first team fight of the finals, going clearly in the favor of the defending side of Kairos Gaming.
Kairos Gaming knows exactly what they're doing, and honestly, it's kind of hard to keep track of in first person, so I'm going to keep in third person, probably. But really, they just keep on getting the kills. Naru knows exactly when to dive and exactly when to get out, because every single time he's getting down to low health, he's just moving away, moving back, making sure that I'd God on Mercy can heal him.
And a slight change coming in now as Chris going over onto that Reinhardt. So we're going to see a little bit more standard perhaps go towards the Death Ball, which is another composition we do get to see a lot of, usually in the lower divisions because of its lower barrier of execution. Deppy Dave getting taken out of that mech almost immediately, but does regain it with use of that self-destruct. Doki Doki using the Zenyatta Transcendence to try and push this team forward. Chris not finding any space, however, as blue kills coming in across the board once again. Doki Doki, Sammy, Chris, Darshij, and Bloodies taken out of this fight. Glyra, the sole survivor, is going to be taken back for a ride and forced to regroup with the rest of the team.
Honestly, Jacob and like a few of the other people are so good at getting these early kills. Like, they're getting kills before the fights are even allowed to start, honestly. And that's working out well in their favor.
Very secure is this point at the second. Jacob getting that air superiority, which is doing a lot of work. Whatever, bro, are going to be starting the engage here. That's going to be Chris getting that Ryan to just dive off of the side of the map to start this off. Not going to be going too well, as this is going to be a very scrappy engage. Kairos Gaming still getting the better of this in every angle possible, as that's another 3 kills coming in across the board. And Kairos Gaming just looking so unbreakable here.
Yeah, they have a very dominant, like, power coming into this. That's probably not the best way to say it, but they are extremely dominant going into these fights, and they can get picks early and make sure that they can frag out properly and just get the enemy team dead. They're coming from the bottom layer now, trying to go straight to the point.
We will, of course, be seeing if any frags do come through. Darshij is secure frag with the Deadeye as Naru does trade one back. That's going to be Chris using a beautiful Earth Shatter. Gets free onto the floor as he's swinging that hammer and he's trying to find what he can. Sly does use his ultimate, but the channel is interrupted by Death, as that's going to be another self-destruct coming down. Doesn't secure any kills, but Deppy Dave does get back into the mech as soon as possible before being taken out. This hammer from Chris is being waved, is being slapped, and is taking the space. It's taking the kills. That's the 3-man res to restart this fight and destroy my lungs even further as Sly using those Helix rockets to get another kill down onto Bloodis. Deppy Dave does kill out Chris, and we are seeing Naru start to frag out himself as Kiam take another healer. Deppy Dave on the board once again as overtime depleted, and that's a full hold coming in for Kairos Gaming. Beautiful play.
Whatever, bro, couldn't even get the 33% needed to make it a slightly harder fight for Kairos Gaming on the attack. Kairos Gaming just needs to get that 33%, that first check mark, to take it and take the first match of this 5-game series.
And what a beautiful start. The execution coming out from Kairos Gaming. Just the ability to secure those kills and finalize every single defense. Absolutely perfect to start this series off.
They're doing a wonderful job. They know how to start the fights, they know how to make an advantage coming into the fights, because the enemy team has to come to them when they're on the defense. They can definitely easily get an initiating kill so that the enemy team can't exactly dive in properly, can't exactly move in with their death ball as they would like to. They know what to do to start these fights at an advantage, and they're doing it every single time.
I am very happy to see that Whatever Bro did start to switch out picks as they realized it wasn't working, which is something that we do often have to criticize teams for doing. Unfortunately, the switches weren't really in their favor as Kairos Gaming just executing that perfectly. But what could Whatever Bro have done to really start that off and execute better?
I think they needed to stick a bit closer together with their death ball. They needed to keep behind that Reinhardt shield every single time, because anytime that anybody peeked out with it, honestly, Jacob with his rockets was just getting a pick every single time. They needed to be able to play tighter together as a team and come at the enemy team, hopefully getting a kill to start.
Definitely the case, but we're going to have to see now how Whatever Bro start to actually do with the defense. Interesting composition already starting this off. Dashij will be playing that Torbjorn, giving himself a little bit less to worry about when it comes to aiming around this time, as Doki Doki taken dangerously low already at the beginning of this fight. Jacob once again getting himself on the board. That's 2 games in a row, but that man on your screen right there has entered these fights with the kill, and he gets the second blue scoreboard. This is a clean wipe to start this off, and beautiful execution. That is it already.
Oh
4 minutes left on the board.
That is such a great first fight. They knew exactly what they were doing, and Jacob could get that first pick easy, and he put it down on a healer, one of the most important people on the enemy team. Just incredible play from them.
I'm really happy to also put out there that Doki Doki, who did unfortunately lose out on that one. Oh, but let's just quickly go to this. The man of the hour, Jacob 1020, who fragged out across the board, and even though he's not playing one of those hit scans, able to secure the kills so nicely across the board. And there's the quad kill. This man doing so much work.
61% kill participation, too. Just with those 19 eliminations, he was able to secure more than half of the kills for his team.
And definitely the case. It's beautiful to see how they were able to really pull that out. And definitely we have to consider their comms would have been so far on point, everybody piling onto exactly the same target, managing to secure the kills, managing to frag out, not solo, but as a team.
Yeah, they know how to work together as a team, they know who to rely on to get these kills, and honestly, it was just great play from them all around.
And next we will be going over to our King of the Hill map pick, which will be either Oasis or Ilios.
Yep, they have a choice for
and
King of the Hill maps.
The choice will be going over to Whatever Bro as well, so just having to wait on what they're going to be choosing. Now it looks like they actually want something slightly different. They want to get a different King of the Hill map in there, but of course we are limited to Oasis or Ilios at the second, and it looks like Ilios will be the choice. We did see some boops in that game, and we will be going to Boop City on one of these maps.
Yep. Alright, well, this should be an interesting series. Let's see if Kairos Gaming can pull it out once again with these fights. I'm fairly certain that they can do it, but we will see if they have some struggle coming into King of the Hill, which is a hard type for a lot of people.
Of course, taking a look at King of the Hill, we do get more just straight fighting across the board, team fight after team fight after team fight, so this is probably a place where we could see the chaotic nature of Whatever Bro actually start to swing in their favor.
This is true. It's entirely possible with these sorts of maps that, like, even if you have bad, like, communication or team gameplay on a regular sort of map, it can work out fairly well in King of the Hill if you're spreading out, if you know, like, that you have all of the entrances to the point secured down, it can work out well in their favor, but communication is still the most important thing in these sorts of games, and if it's not going well for them, then it might continue not to.
But of course, on the flip side of this, we did also see just how much Kairos were able to do in that game. Looks like Sani's going to be hovering that Hanzo. I'm kind of hoping we do get to see it, just so I get to flame the skill arrow a little bit. But he's going to switch that over to Reaper, and we're going to get a pause to start this off. Just going to have to wait and see what these guys are pausing for. Of course, pauses usually do come out for a reason. Digital Ritter out in chat as well, just to confirm for you, my boy. This is a best of 5 for the finals here. And, of course, already Kairos Gaming of getting their one pick onto this board straight away in such quick, dominating fashion. We are going to be having all of blue side starting to go in through the... what is that? That's it's a pavilion. That's the word.
Words.
Now,
they're hard for both of us today.
Exactly. Sammy and Bloodies are getting kills across the board already. Jacob does trap one back, and Darshij on that Sombra will be doing some work of his own, and he does get the healer out of the fight almost immediately. Jacob playing dangerously close with that. And oh my goodness! Everybody going into the pit, aside from blue side here, who are going to be contesting this point with everything they've got. They do manage to get 3/4 of it, and this is slowly but surely we're going to get there as Chris gets booted down. Beautiful work from Kian there. This will be a blue side point for now, however, as beautiful control across this board. Now, seeing if they're still able to do this, you are probably going to have to switch around the team names on stream, by the way, because you just completely and utterly confused me there. As oh no, I think you already did it. I've got the delay on.
Yeah.
And that's a retake also coming out from Kairos Gaming there, who after they were taken aback by the aggression of whatever bro, did manage to regain their own composure and get back in there.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They kind of ended up having to lose a bit of the percentage on the first point just so that they could get a nice dominant position from which to fight for the next parts.
And dominance has been the name of the game for them. Dominance in ult economy as well as Fop are available to them, as Naru popping his own, managing to boot everyone around here. Glyra will be escaping with his life, however. Bloodies does try to find an entrance into the backline, but doesn't manage to find anyone, as he is going to be chased off by Sly on the opposing Tracer pick. Once again, though, it's just straight fighting going in favor of Kairos Gaming here. Whatever bro just not being given a chance to recover.
No, really, they're having a very hard time dealing with it.
Oh, and 2 ultimates, 3 ultimates being blown across the board. That was a rocket barrage into a Sombra EMP, into a beautiful Transcendence being used there as well. Doki Doki does try to keep some people alive, but that's 3 picks across the board for Kairos Gaming, who are taking control of this beat piece by piece. Naru will be finishing off that defense as Monkey does kill the Monkey.
Honestly, while a few people in the chat may criticize that solo res, I think it was a good decision. It was a nice tempo res to just get Sly immediately back going into the next fight. Like, they had pretty much won their fight at that point. It just came down to having a more dominant position coming into the next one.
And dominance still being the name of the game here. Darshij is going to be chased off of this point almost every single time that he tries this. Sly taking Bloodies out of this as Glyra also going to finish off Naru with a boot. Beautiful work here and excellent positioning coming through. Lucio ult will be used to try and maintain some semblance of health going into this, but Jacob still raining so much damage. Finishing off the kills will be Sly, however. Doki Doki on the Widow pick, not able to do too much there, as overtime going to be established, and Kairos Gaming managing to find themselves with another point on the board.
They are, like, the word that I keep on using, dominant, really does apply. They know exactly what they're doing. Sometimes they lose advantage on the point, but even with that, going into the next fight, they always show this dominant presence. They know how to fight on these points and know how to take the space. Honestly, they're fighting really far forward sometimes on that last map, and they just continued to keep it going every single time.
And I'm really surprised to see just how dominant across both series these guys have managed to be. And honestly, it's been fantastic to actually witness just how well these guys come together as a team and focus fire so heavily. Jacob has been probably my biggest pick for this, as he's just been managing to get so much work done with this Pharah.
Yeah, Pharah isn't always like a useful pick. She's definitely extremely useful in the presence of a Mercy like she has, but honestly, it doesn't always work quite as well as Jacob's making it work this time.
And he's still getting damage across the board. Always doing work, even without the Mercy on him. 3 people will be on that point as Kairos Gaming doing their best to secure it once again. Jacob getting 2 picks there. Sly doing a lot of work himself as Naru will be getting a kill with the jump back. That's Dappy Dave finishing off this fight. And once again, Kairos Gaming getting themselves that point.
And if they can hold far forward, it seems like they enjoy holding far forward on these King of the Hill maps, then it's going to be extremely difficult for whatever bro to even get back to the point.
Of course, they have been cut off across the board here. Jacob keeping so much fire down, and once again, we don't usually get to call out the healers, but Eidgod and Kiam doing a lot of work to stay in safe positions whilst also maintaining their own usefulness to the rest of the team.
Eidgod, honestly, he moves around the map so much with this Mercy. He's so good at moving between everyone that it's surprising. Like, he even finds really weird spots on the map to stand when he does need to stand still, which is great for him. He knows exactly what he's doing with this Mercy.
Of course, we are seeing a trickle here start to come in, as it's once again Whatever Bro trying to group up and trying to find themselves in here. But whilst we do have this lull,
I just checked the chat. I just checked the chat for something that like McKitKat said. I criticize the Solar Res because of reasons that only the Reddit of competitive Overwatch understand. That's so great. Yeah.
You honestly, with comp Overwatch, you can actually go on there. It'll be a thread talking about Soldier Ult, and then the first thing, top comment, is always going to be Mercy is.
Yeah, well, Mercy's OP, man. Mercy players don't deserve GM. Mercy players aren't anything. No, Mercy players deserve the spots that they're at because they play well at the spots that they're at.
And of course we have missed a little bit of action inside that lull there, but still it's pretty much the same thing over and over again here as Kairos Gaming keeping such a huge amount of control over this map, and that is going to be the ultimate used by Jacob as well, just getting the solo kill down onto Glyra in overtime here. Sly will kill off Dashij and Sammy there, keeping this overtime slowly ticking away and forcing the trickle out of Whatever Bro and getting the 2-0 hit.
Yep, and with one more win, they will take the second win of this 5-round series. If they can do that, Whatever Bro could come out from behind and take the victory, but I am not exactly sure that will happen at this point.
Of course, just quickly harking back to our Mercy point a little bit earlier, we do have on one of our servers GM Mercy Main, Turtle Eye, brilliant guy and fantastic person to play with as well, but he put a comment on competitive Overwatch saying that he was a Mercy Main, to which he got the response, "Do you honestly feel like you're a GM player? Because I can tell you no one will acknowledge your achievement when they see you're a Mercy Main."
Yeah, like...
Brutal, Savage and Rex, all in one there.
I know on our like Discord, our EU Casting Couch Discord that we have, like every single day there's like a Reddit post from Comp Overwatch complaining about Mercy Mains, and it's honestly hilarious to me at this point.
It's always brilliant to see as well. We do get a lot of fun. Discord, of course, people are more than welcome to come and join us, but we can't really self-plug at the second whilst the fight is going on here. Naru jumping into the backline, trying to find some damage with that tickle gun. Dashij will be playing a Pharah himself this time around, as Jacob will switch over onto the Genji pick. 40% already on that ultimate. Sly getting 2-1 straight away there. Pulse Bomb so quickly charged by him, as Kiam does get a kill onto Doki Doki as well. Chris will trade one back as Eidgod bringing Dappy Dave back to life with that tempo res, making sure that this fight is in their favor. Darshij is left out to dry here, and I think he's just going to have to commit suicide as... he's deciding
Nope,
he's just going to try and put a little bit of damage down as he's regrouping with the rest of the team. Excellent movement there, and already establishing that dominance train once again is Kairos Gaming.
Yeah, Kairos Gaming knows what they're doing. They know how to take this point and be great at it. Like, they are so good with keeping everything.
Their dive is so fantastic and coordinated coming, as well as slide jump in onto the backlines there, onto Sammy, getting the second kill down onto Doki Doki. The self-destruct does not manage to find any kills. Diva Mech will be recalled back down, but Deppy Dave getting the kill down onto Chris. A lot of peppery damage coming in onto him. Jacob getting the slice kill onto Glyra as well. Darshij not managing to find anything on this Farah pick. Very close to having his ultimate available to him, however.
Blood is just in the middle of all of these people on Kairos Gaming, just not really being killed, purposefully seeming not being killed.
And breaking it down across the board as both teams are using their Lucio ultimates now. Kill off Glyra at the very beginning. I'd God, that's the first time I've seen him actually get killed this game so far, but he is taken down by Chris. Doki Doki will be chipping in onto Naru as well, but the fight was so far away from the point that the contest can't really come in so early. The contest will start to come in now. 84% established onto this point. Sly really starting to get this there. That's going to be a boot off the map as Darshij finally starting to do some work, killing Deppy Dave almost immediately. Chris will be coming into this as well. I'd God once again with that solo res, making sure that Jacob 1020 is going to get in there, doing a lot of work. Again, the slice before being taken down. Darshij using that rocket barrage, getting 2 kills as Chris finds the third onto Mercy as well. Darshij will kill off Kiarm as that's going to be whatever, bro. Finally getting themselves on this map here.
Yeah, they know that they have it now and they need to keep it, because if they don't, immediately it's going to be game over. Because one more cap and Kairos Gaming is going to take this game for their series.
Of course, this will put them up to 2-0 for the finals as well. This is the best of 5 coming in, and that's going to be a great start to this as the Diva Mech does find a kill down onto Chris. Lots of damage already coming in, but Zenyatta trying to mitigate some of that with the Transcendence. Darshij will find Eidgod, who's not finding the right positions in these fights. The contest still coming through. Jacob 1020 getting the kill onto Doki Doki as Naru diving in onto Sammy as well. Jacob will find another. Naru, the dive buddies are finding it all, and they are carrying this game all the way through. Naru and Jacob 1020 slide chipping in as well. Overtime forced once again as Kairos Gaming take the point and take the game 2-0 in this series now.
This is great. Kairos Gaming knows exactly how to play this game and knows exactly how to come at whatever, bro. Naru with play of the match. Honestly, he really deserves it. He is so great with this Winston.
I am loving to see that Doki Doki from Team Whatever, bro, is getting into the spirit here. Very friendly game, regardless of just how difficult this is for Whatever, bro.
Alright, and this is Kairos Gaming 2, Whatever Bro 0 at this moment. If they can win one more map, then they will take this whole series and the finals for themselves.
And people have been calling for Dorado all series long. And next up we can have either Watchpoint Gibraltar or Dorado, which I'm just going to get over to the teams now.
It's Route 66, I believe.
We have Watchpoint and Dorado, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Now everybody's calling for Route 66 as soon as Dorado is an option. Communicating with these teams can sometimes be quite difficult.
Yes.
We have so many memes coming into... And they're memeing very well, I've got to say, going into this. It looks like we will be picking up Dorado here. If we do go over to a match 4, the options will be Temple of Anubis and Volskaya. But of course, there's going to be no ties here, so Lijiang Tower will not really be a consideration for a tiebreaker map.
No, I don't think it will be. But hey, we will see how they play this map. With how it's going, I think that Kairos Gaming is going to take it. But Whatever Bro could, beyond all expectations at this point, take this map and make this series even longer, which I would be totally down for at this point.
And I am very sorry, but I'm getting it wrong. It's Watchpoint or Route 66.
No, it's Dorado. It's Route 66 in the message that was sent to us, but on the official updates, it's Watchpoint or Dorado.
This is getting very, very difficult here.
It's extremely confusing, but whatever. Whatever they feel like playing, I guess, as long as it's a payload, I don't mind.
As long as we have the payload, that is, of course, the main thing going into this. So, I'm just going to quickly get this confirmed. If you'd be able to just quickly talk over about what we're going to be seeing on payload maps at the second, especially with dive compositions, then we can get ourselves ready.
Honestly, with Kairos Gaming, they are super, super good at this dive. I think that they'd be able to keep a payload going very far just by Naru jumping forward, Jacob jumping forward, and Sly jumping forward with their team going as it is right now, either with the Pharah or with the Genji, how they had their composition for the last King of the Hill map. They are very dominant at moving forward, creating space for themselves with the DPS and with their Naru on tank with Winston. They're great at making that space, keeping themselves having a nice safe range and getting inside of whatever bro and creating chaos for them. They cannot work well together when they have a giant monkey in their face with with Pharah above and Tracer dashing around their point, whatever, yeah, dashing around them near their defenses and everything like that. Their healers do not know exactly what to do going into this. We are going to get Route 66, so.
And I am very sorry, guys. I'm definitely having a few issues here with actually, reading and speaking today. Everything's becoming very difficult.
Words.
At one point, I said Watchpoint and Gibraltar, which is not really too much of a choice. So the actual options were Watchpoint, Gibraltar, and Route 66, and we are heading over to Route 66 for this, our third game of this series. Kairos Gaming, of course, 2-0 up already. If they manage to take this map, they will be taking the finals here. So, very exciting and a lot to play for already.
Yep. They know what they're doing, and I honestly think that we're going to see a pretty dominant performance from them coming out of this.
And already starting to lock in some picks, which we've been seeing very often already. And Kairos Gaming locking in that Genji, locking in the full dive composition, but Jacob just baited me into it as he switches over onto Pharah.
Yep.
God, taking that Mercy. So they've got options, which is fantastic.
Yeah, they definitely do. We know that they can play different things. Honestly, I'm looking at the panorama diner where the attackers start, and it's so weird seeing the diner literally clipping into the mountain. You'd think that it would be slightly different or whatever, but no, it's clipping straight into the roof.
You gotta love some clipping here and there, especially when it's in the distance, when the view distance starts to render in right in front of you and you get the pop in. Those are my favourites. But of course, speaking of favourites, coming in to this as the favourites, Kairos Gaming will be taking that attacking position straight away. And the attack already starting that off as Sammy is going to get absolutely destroyed by this Pharah. Chris is next on the firing line on that Winston, but this is still the fight going forward.
Oh,
Jacob has pushed the rest of the team all the way back. Bloodies will trade one back, and this is first corner already started to be established here. Naru getting forced out as Bloodies doing a lot of work to mitigate the rest of the damage coming through here.
Honestly, they're doing an incredible job. Jacob back in the fight now. This is going to probably swing things a bit further in the attacking direction. But Naru getting a kill on Sammy, creating, like, space for Jacob to do work without a hit scan around.
Did go dangerously low as well, but sorry, Idgod with that beautiful positioning on that Mercy once again, and the air fight goes to Jacob 1020. Been doing so much work this game, and that is a red kill feed once again, as the rest of the team are gonna very easily take this first point. And once again, such a dominant performance by Kairos Gaming.
Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing, and they kept that payload moving pretty much the entire time, honestly. Idgod hiding a bit to heal himself up, but he should be back in the fight fairly shortly. Oh, Sly!
Sly, he's been so on point with those pulse bombs, but he's been just, like, with all of the damage coming through from the rest of the team, he's been overshadowed almost slightly, but he is doing so much work himself. Four members of the team, are getting such a huge fight, 4v6 in the backlines. Jacob 1020 once again getting another kill alongside Sly. This dive buddy combo doing so much work, supported by Idgod and Naru as well, as Diva and Kiam are just going to relax.
Yeah.
Chill out for a little bit and push that point forward.
They didn't even need to do anything. The rest of their team had it going 4v6 just fine.
And oh my goodness! Jacob 1020 with the surprise rocket barrage. Dashij and Doki are going to be remembering that for a little while, as Sly also gets the pick with another well-aimed pulse bomb down onto Sammy.
And here it is. They have 5.5 minutes going into this final point, and I think they're going to be able to get quite a bit of it. It might just be 4 minutes if they can get nice clean team wipes the entire time.
Gonna have to see if they're able to, or if whatever bro start to mount an insurmountable defense. Gonna have to wait and see for that one, however, as Naru and Kiam starting to push this forward. Dappy Dave will be putting that self-destruct through, already getting the pick down onto Bloodies, who wasn't able to get himself in cover just in time. Dashij with that high ground will be trying to find some kills, but he's not finding anything just yet, as Jacob 1020 once again the man of the hour to take him down. Doki with that two-man res will be resetting this fight, and whatever bro also using Glyra's ultimate to try and establish some extra control with effective health, but that's going to be countered instantly by Kiam. Jacob 1020 getting another rocket barrage coming through as Bloodies gets 2 kills. That's the pharmacy out of this fight. No res will be coming through as Deppy Dave and Naru do pick up the rest of the work for themselves. The pharmacy isn't necessary. The rest of Kairos Gaming will pick up the work, pick up the slack, and start pushing this forward. Sammy next in the firing line as Sly kills off Glyra. Deppy Dave using the defense matrix as much as possible. Jacob switching out onto the Genji now to try and find some more dive, which is what we need. We need more breathes and we need more kills. Jacob 1020 already killing Sammy. Deppy Dave using that self-destruct sequence once again, doesn't find the kill, but instantly gets himself back inside that mech, and Jacob 1020 still doing so much work. Naru popped the ultimate, gets a kill for himself as well, buys the space for the rest of the team. Reverse self-destruct will come through as Sammy gets no kills with that, unfortunately. The only thing he will get is to scrap Deppy Dave's mech. Naru and Idgod finding a kill on that Danger Mercy. Surprising amount of damage does come through, but Naru kills off Glyra. Still the trickle coming through, breaking it down now, as that is going to be Kiam using the Lucio ultimate. Doki pushing forward. Dashij now on the Mei, trying to stall for time, trying to buy the time, but 3 minutes left on the clock here for Kairos Gaming. Dragon Blade coming through from Jacob 1020. That's 2 kills already started off. Dashij and Glyra taken out of this fight. Idgod will get himself the res in here as well. Doki taking a kill of his own, killing off the Diva twice, and I'm starting to lose my breath here. This is still going on. Sly getting a kill down onto Sammy. Bloodies will kill himself here, but the stall is insurmountable. So many picks which can buy so much time. 4.72 meters has been held for a minute.
Yeah, going into this, they might not have very much time left at the end. because the defense has an extremely dominant stall going on with this. So they have 3 DPS going in, just stalling as much as they can. Bloodus being killed before he can properly channel, so he still has that ult coming into the next fight.
And it looks like Whatever Bro are starting to lose it now. That's going to be another self-destruct coming through. But Darshij will... Oh my god, the stick through the ice! Beautiful! Now we're down to 4 beaters, 20. Jacob 10-20 using the ultimate once again as Doki Doki in the firing line. Getting cut in half is the Tracer. But then once again, we have Chris using his Monkey ultimate now. 4 members, 3 members, 2 members, all pushing forward. Everyone is all in on this point. 1 minute 35 is going to be left on the clock. Another self-destruct just used to try and keep the Diva alive. Eidgod will be using his ultimate, bringing back the secondary healer as Doki Doki getting 2 kills with the pulse bomb. That could push this cart even further forward. Doki Doki will be pushed out, but that's Sammy now using his massive health pool to try and pull this forward. Deppy Dave will be getting 1 boop in there. Jacob 10-20 does kill off Sammy, however, as Sly kills off Doki
here comes
Doki,
the blizzard.
counterpart. Breeze don't move is said. This could be turning the stall around once again.
No.
Deppy Dave will be the one. Self-destruct coming through so many times. How many times have I heard that one bloody voice line in this same fight? This fight has been going on for 4 minutes now.
And here we go.
And this is finally
This is it. Oh my god.
Oh my god. After 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes, or I lost track on that one. Finally, Kairos Gaming finishing out that map. What the hell?
Yeah, Compfrosh in chat. Who is Team Envious? I just remember Kairos. Like, yeah, this is going incredibly well. One thing I have to mention, we don't get to talk about the healers too much, but, you know, this time Eidgod is incredible. He is such, like, a battle-oriented healer. He dives in with his team. He doesn't just, like, hang out in the back waiting for reses or things like that. He doesn't, like, play more of a passive role. No, like, when the 4 went forward for that 4 versus 6, he was one of those 4. He went in at an angry Winston just so that he could heal up his Winston just fine. He is an incredible at, like, moving in and keeping space for himself and not dying even in the heat of battle, which is extremely commendable.
Doing such a beautiful job to change up his playstyle, as you mentioned. Of course, we usually attribute Mercies as the member who will stick at the very back, stay alive, and, you know, start to bitch out a little bit and just sit there and do absolutely nothing. Eidgod will be playing the Zenyatta this time round, and this is going to be the dive defense. Love to see it.
Look at this offense, though. If this is a legitimate offense, this is going to be insane. Sammy on the Orisa, probably there to protect Bloodus and Dashij's turret forms. Like, this is going to be incredible if this is the attack.
This is, of course, something that you can see happen because the payload, they have that corner. Nobody aggresses the payload at the very beginning of this map.
No, because
so
it's a bad idea.
Do actually have the time to set up initially.
They do. And they have 2 barrier heroes with the Reinhardt and the Orisa, 2 main healers, and 2 turret tanks. Like, this is going to be incredible.
Dappy Dave also on that Junkrat pick. Competitive Overwatch probably disagrees with you on that one. Now, the barrier...
Competitive Overwatch is crying seeing this stuff.
This is some high-level Overwatch, folks, and this is for the series. Of course, if Kairos Gaming manage to get this stall or this defense, they win the finals here. So a lot to play for. Or will we see Whatever Bro mount the huge reverse sweep? Darshij always starting this off.
2 kills.
Dappy Dave and Eidgod, however, starting to get some kills back as Jacob. Oh my goodness, they've pulled it back. The absolute madmen. They've done it. They have stopped the barrier. They have stopped the turrets, and they have regained control. Beautiful play from Kairos Gaming.
And Eidgod a headshot on Glyro right at the end.
And now, of course, Whatever Bro, they have to switch this up. They don't have the ability to reset up the annoying turrets, let's say. But they're sticking to it. They are going to keep this. They are going to keep the turrets, they're going to keep the shields, and they're going to try and find something. Bloody will be setting himself up, but Idgod going to take him out of the fight almost immediately here. We do hear a Riptire being channeled in the backside, alongside the Genji Dragon Blade. Kills across the board, and that's a team wipe coming in from Kairos Gaming.
Too bad we can't hear like that beautiful team kill bell go because we're spectators, but hey.
Let's get a soundboard for it, man. Just soundboard right in front of you, you know, get the ding in, which is what we need here.
Yeah.
We do, of course, Sammy now will be switching up onto the Widowmaker pick. How, of course, if he doesn't get those picks, this isn't going to be useful for him.
Yeah, no, it's entirely dependent on his ability to do anything, and he's just taken out in the first part of the fight before anything else can happen, so...
And...
Doki Doki!
Oh my,
Res.
5-man res! There's your player of the game.
Overwatch is crying.
Dave is going to be coming in, but that's going to be Kairos Gaming just killing them again! Beautiful work as Jacob 1020 still doing work, slicing and dicing through Sammy in the back line there. Almost a full team kill into almost a second full team kill. This is just nuts. Kairos Gaming really have this in the bag. If whatever, bro,
They really do.
Don't change this up.
Honestly, like, this is just so great to watch, and competitive Overwatch is just crying about everything about this match as it is. Like, hey, we have a Junkrat. We also have Bastion and Torbjorn. We have a 5-man Mercy Res. It's like all of the things that get them upset.
And taking a look at the composition that whatever bro have changed over to, not really gonna be a very useful one here, as they have so much damage but not really that much healing to come through. Chris will be going dangerously low after being pulled outside of that mech. Dashij on that Hanzo, not finding as many skill arrows as he would probably want to. Press E, get a kill. He gets one! There it is, down onto Kiam. Kiam tilted across the board. We've got some salt in chat, boys, now, as Sammy is gonna be staying alive on the second sniper pick, and if this 2-sniper composition even manages to get a point, I will eat, let's not go back on that one, as that's the weak snakes coming through, going through Big L's, not finding any kills here. Naru finds a kill of his own, and it looks like this is just going to be the give up here. Channeled for whatever, bro, as Sly coming in with 2 kills of his own. Overtime is going to be established as TacVisor comes through. Sly gets free, he gets the 4th, he gets the 5th, as Doki Doki is forced to suicide, and that is it. That is Kairos Gaming getting the 3-0 inside this, our finals for the EUB series.
Yep, that is it, and that was a great game, with Kairos being as dominant as ever, just winning through sheer determination.
And here are we going to get to see it? Are we going to see? No, we're not seeing them.
No?
We are seeing my personal MVP here, Jacob 1020, who's done so much work in all of these games so far. There's the slice, getting so many other slices to kill off the entirety of this turret formation that did come out of whatever bro.
And they have completely wiped the cards for this. 56 kill streak as the best for Naru. 36 objective kills with Sly, offensive assists and defensive assists. This is incredible. Kairos Gaming, 3, and whatever bro, 0.
And a brilliant way to finish off our day. We had some fun, we had some games, and we got to see Kairos Gaming take that by storm. Beautiful work coming through from them, and excellent team communications coming through. Of course, I've already said that my MVP is going to be Jacob 1020 for this. Who are you going to go for on this one, Wesley?
Same, also Idgod, because Idgod needs incredible credit for being able to do what he did that entire 3 matches. So yeah, Jacob and Idgod, congratulations, you're the MVPs this time.
And of course, that is not just going to be the end of the stream here for today, but this is going to be the end of the season for us here, as we're going to be going into an off-season shortly. So, perfect time for you guys out there to sign yourselves up for the Overwatch University League. Whilst you're out there, make sure to take a look in the channel's description below where you can join us on Discord. Make sure to ask some questions and get involved with our lovely community. If you'd like to support the teams as well, make sure to also follow us on Twitter and on Twitch as well at OW University for both of those respectively. Thank you guys for watching the stream today. It has been wonderful to participate this season and for this finals. It's been absolutely beautiful all the way across. I feel like I've managed to make some improvements across this season myself just from watching these teams, and it's been excellent to also cast all of these games with energy so far.
It's sad that even though we've improved as casters over this season, that our final showing here we were tripping over words the entire time. But whatever, that's more of a
it's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a long day and it's hot and I don't have air conditioning going right now, so yeah.
Of course, though, thank you to everybody out there for tuning in and showing support to these wonderful teams, to the wonderful admins who make OW University happen, and for all of the support in the background which makes everything run so smoothly. It's great for all of us, and we get to show you guys this lovely product overall and showcase the talent as we got to see from Kairos Gaming today. Thank you for tuning in today. If you want to catch more of our streams, make sure to follow on Twitter and get involved on Discord so you will get to find out when we're going live for Season 3 as well. Usually the streams are Saturday at 3 PM GMT, but that is going to be changed up for next season. But the only thing to be said for now is I have been Daniel Dudge-Sandal, and joining me has been Wesley, Energy being himself, the man of the hour. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
We will see you next time. I'm going to leave it up for a little bit so that the score is here in case anybody joined late. But yeah, we hope to see you in the next one, whenever the next one is. Until then, see you next time.